Welcome to Small Batch Miniatures Games. I'm Raymond, and today we're going to be playing The Silver Bayonet by Joseph McCulloch. In particular, we're going to be playing his new expansion, Egypt, Shadow of the Sphinx. Silver Bayonet is a Napoleonic Gothic horror game. That's what it's described as. And so it's set in the early 1800s. Everyone's got muskets and the technology of the time, and they're fighting various types of monsters and horrors. Like in the original book, it's mostly about vampires and werewolves and zombies and that kind of thing, which aren't quite my cup of tea. But when I heard that he was doing an Egypt expansion, that's when I went all in and decided to start playing the game, because I'm a big Egypt fan. Anything with mummies has always been really big for me ever since I was in elementary school. So first thing I did was create a unit according to the rules here, and you choose a country first. I wanted to choose either the Egyptian country from the new Egypt expansion, and so this is going to be an Ottoman force. I'm using Perry Miniatures Ottomans that are really nice metal models. So my Silver Bayonet unit has been called by the Sultan to go and investigate an ancient mystery deep within the desert of Egypt. It's led by Hassan Bey, my officer, whose weapons are blessed. Uluk, my doctor, can obviously heal other members of the unit. Sheikh Nazim is sort of my magician, a representative of the old gods. And so he's got some ancient spells that I'll be trying out. And then I've got some irregular soldiers with a brace of pistols, and they're quite nimble. They can make good use of cover. Turkan is a native scout. He's got a huge two-handed scimitar. It's a silver scimitar, by the way, and he's also a master of cover. And then I have a janissary and a normal infantryman. Janissary is kind of the upgraded infantryman that the Ottomans can have. And so we'll start with the first scenario in our Egypt mini-campaign. This is going to be kind of loosely based on the first solo scenario out of Egypt, although I'm adapting it to fit my miniatures and the story I want to tell. My Silver Bayonet unit has been tasked with clearing the bandits out of a series of ruins and investigating any artifacts they find along the way. I hope you enjoy today's game of Silver Bayonet. If you like learning about new games, make sure and subscribe to Small Batch Miniatures Games. Thank you. The Sultan has sent them out to go investigate these ruins, clear out the bandits that are already there, and then investigate the sites which are marked by these canoptic jars here. So they're going to want to be collecting those canoptic jars and getting rid of all of the bandits. We've got a gate structure over here and some obelisks. We've got two ruins that are going to give folks cover when they're on or behind them. The bandit camp is over here. Gotta make sure their campfire's going, of course. How else are they going to eat their cooked snake? And then we've got a small oasis over here. And inside the oasis, we've got a crocodile. Now he's just going to hang out there until somebody comes within 6. Then he's going to get a little bit aggressive, but he's not going to activate until that happens. At the end of each turn, I'm going to be rolling on a table to bring in more enemies, and it could be more bandits, it could be snakes, it could be a couple of interesting, unique characters or monsters that could come in. So we'll have to see what happens there. But that's going to be it. We're going to start with turn 1 here, and I'm going to move half my forces up. Then all of the enemies are going to activate, and then I'll be able to activate the other half of my forces. That's how the solo turns work in this game. And so I'm going to pick 4 guys. I've got War Bandit 8 here. I'm going to pick 4 guys, and they're going to get to activate first. We've got Saban Aga, my janissary. And he's going to move up to give cover behind this column here. And he is going to take a shot down at this bandit over here. We'll say the bandit has cover because of that obelisk. It's going to be -1 for moving, +1 for Savan Aga's accuracy skill. So it's just going to be the die roll here. And I'm hoping to do better than an 8. I'll do kind of the same thing with this character. He's going to move up his 6 inches. And this is Halim, my infantryman. He's going to take a shot as well. He's also got an accuracy of 1. And he's going to be going after the same target there. And a 6 is not going to do it either. Now we've got a doctor here who's going to move up. Nazim, or no, I'm sorry, this is Uluk the doctor. Uluk is going to move up, and he is going to actually investigate this first canoptic jar here. So on Silver Bayonet, we've got a sort of prepared deck of cards here that I've shuffled up, and it's going to tell us what we find when we open the canoptic jar. So this is a queen. The figure has found a supply of salt. Select 2 figures in the unit. Both of these figures' attacks count as salt attacks for the rest of the campaign. So salt is one of the special attributes that you can get that will help against certain kinds of enemies, including snakes. So that could be very useful here. I think I will go ahead and give that to my 2 irregular fighters down here. So they are going to have salt attacks with their pistols. They can load them full of salt and blast at any snake swarms that come out. All right, finally I'm going to activate my leader here. Let's go ahead and do a run with him. And so that's a 7, so he's going to add 2 to his movement. If he rolls over 10, he can add 4. And so he'll just get up there towards the edge of that cover there. And now we're going to activate all of the bandits. So let's start doing that. We've got one over here. He's going to want to step into cover. And he's got a musket, which should be in range. Yeah, musket's 24, so definitely. His closest target is going to be my leader here. So he's going to take a shot. He does not get a bonus here. He's going to be at a -2 because there's cover and he moved. And that's a 15 down to a 13. My leader's defense is 14, so thankfully he missed. Moving on, we'll move on to this guy who's going to get behind the obelisk there, and he is going to take a shot straight down at this Janissary. And my Janissary is going to take some damage from that. He's going to take the power die amount in damage here. And so my Janissary is going to take 7 damage. He's down to 3. So I'm going to mark that over here. This guy way back here, it needs to move up to be able to shoot. And so he's going to do that. He's going to come around here and stay on that cover. And then he is going to take a long shot, but he is just within 24 inches of my infantryman here. Oh my. So that's a 16 here. That is, even with the -2, that's going to be over the defense of my infantryman. And it uses the power die of 10 for damage. So my infantryman is down. And then we've got 2 more over here. So this guy's going to move up his 6, stay behind it, that tent. And he is going to take a shot right down here at my Janissary again. And finally they get a bad roll there, so that's going to miss. And try and get in range for next turn. Now that all the bandits have activated, I'm going to activate my next 4 characters here. They are either armed with pistols or melee, so they need to get up into the fight here. So we'll start with one of my irregulars here, and he's going to be able to go 8 inches. The next irregular is going to be able to go 10 inches because he rolled over a 10 there. We got a local scout who can also go 10 inches. And we've got my wizard or priest or sheik over here, so he's gonna be able to go 8 inches. Okay, that's going to be the end of turn 1. We're going to roll on the encounter table over here, so let's take a look at that. And on a 5, we're going to place an enemy at a random point along the opposite table edge. The scenario counts asks for a ghoul. I don't have any ghouls, but I do have plenty of snakes over here. And so 6, so he's going to come over on the right side over here. And he will be activating during the next monster turn. I am going to play it so that any of the wild creatures like snakes are on a different team than the bandits, so they will fight each other. All right, round 2 here. So pistols have an 8-inch range, so if I can get up to here, I will just be within 8 of that guy. So that's what I'm going to do with this irregular. I'm going to move him up, and he's going to take a shot with his pistol. He's going to be at -2 to this, but he also has a +1 to his accuracy. And that's not going to do it. I will go ahead and re-roll this die. So this is using one of the dice out of my dice pool. So you can use these to reload. I've only got 1 black and 1 yellow, so 1 power and 1 whatever the other ability is called to use throughout this game, unless I get more from opening the canoptic jars or something. And it's even worse. Okay, so that's a big miss. I'm going to have my Janissary reload and fire here. And he is going to be firing at this target over here. It's just going to be a straight dice roll because you got +1, -1 here. And at a 13, that's going to actually go through. So that's nice. He's going to take the power die here. So this bandit is down to 1 health remaining. I'm going to try and make a double move with my scout here, or a sprint move I should say. And so that's over 10, so he gets to go 10 inches. He's going to go dive behind this obelisk here. And I've got 1 more guy I can activate right now. Can't quite get into range with anybody, so let's go for a sprint with this irregular here. He's going to get to move 8. So I'm just going to put him in the corner here so he can get some cover. All right, I'm going to move my monsters first, so snakes can move 5. And then we'll go ahead and start with our bandits here. So this guy is going to reload and fire. He's going to fire at the closest, which would be this guy right here, who is a master of cover, so he's going to be -2 for this. It is less than the defense, so this guy's okay. Go on to this wounded guy who's going to take a shot at my local guide. Local guide also has master of cover, so it's going to be -2 to this. That's going to be a 12 -2, so he is okay as well. And then same target for this guy back here. So that's going to be so my local guide is going to take a 9 damage. Oof. This bandit back here behind the tent can't see the local guide, but he can see the doctor back here, so he's going to take a shot at -1 for the cover. A 10 won't do it. And then we've got a bandit here who's going to move up behind the obelisk. And I think he can just see that local scout, so he's going to take a shot at him. This is going to be a -3. And so that's going to fail. He has just gotten within 6 inches of the crocodile, so next turn that crocodile is going to be coming after him. And now I'm going to be moving my other 3 guys here. I think I should have only activated 3 at the beginning, but I don't think it's a big deal. It didn't change much. So let's go ahead and get my leader up there if I can. So he is going to be taking a sprint here. He's going to be going 8 inches. So kind of around like this. The magician is going to do the same thing here. And so he's going to be able to definitely get on top of that. He's going to investigate this urn over here. Jack. This figure has found a supply of pitch. Select 2 figures in the unit. Both these figures' melee attacks count as fire for the rest of the campaign. Very nice. The medic is going to move into position to be able to help out with his injured Janissary buddy here in the next turn, and that's going to be it for this round. Let's roll for a new encounter. All right, we've got another snake, another set of snakes coming from the back of the board, and they're going to come over from this far left side. All right, turn 3. We've got to get some things moving here. So let's see. Native Scout is going to try and charge this guy back here. And he definitely can. So that is great. So he gets to take a swing. That's not quite going to do it, so I will use another fate dice here to make sure that this hits. So 12 just meets the bandit's defense, and this bandit goes down. I am going to bring up this irregular. He is going to move to behind the obelisk here, and he's going to take a shot over at this guy, and this is going to be at a -2 because of movement and cover, and then a +1. That's going to be 13. And as a hit, and it's going to do 8 damage because of the power die there. And so that guy's got 2 life remaining. And my leader step forward here, get behind this cover, and unload his pistol. Gonna have a -1, but that's going to beat 13 easily. And so that's going to do 7 damage, bringing this guy down to 3 wounds. So for my first activations, we'll go with monster activations first. So this guy is in trouble. He's got some snakes that are going to come bite him. I'm going to be adding 1 to this for the snake's attacks. Oh man, that's 18. Now the max damage that snakes can do is 5. They're going to be able to do 5 damage to this guy. He is going to swing back using his musket as a club. And that was a pretty good roll too. So it's going to be a 14. That does beat the snakes. But man, these snakes are tough. They've got a damage reduction of 7 against melee attacks. So they don't care at all. They just keep coming. I guess there's so many of them. And then this guy's going to have to step back here. This guy's going to have to step back here because he got hurt. And then we will move these snakes up 5 towards the gateway. This injured guy's going to reload and fire at my leader. And a 12 is not going to quite match my defense, thankfully. And so these poor guys, without salt, they can barely do anything against these snakes. I think this guy's going to be running. So he is going to move his 6 inches, get over here, and then he's just going to be able to reload, and that's it. This bandit is definitely feeling some pressure from the snakes as well, so he's going to move over to the other side and just make a reload. Oh, I forgot about our buddy here who gets to move up 6 first, and so he's going to get in contact with this bandit. Let's see what he can do. He's adding 3 to this, so that is an 18. Youch. It's going to go ahead and take this guy out, actually, so he just gets chomped. And now I've got a crocodile running around. That's all the enemies. It's going to go back to me now. First, let's get the doctor out of the way here. So doctor is going to go ahead and heal this guy for 2. He's back up to 5 health. Janissary is going to take a shot at the crocodile there before it gets closer to our guys. He gets to add a +1 to this, which does not match the crocodile's defense 13. Okay, it's a tough one. We've got these 2 characters over here. This irregular is going to make a charge, so he does need to do a run, but he can get there. And he's going to take a swing. Doesn't quite make the defense that he needed to, so the bandit's going to get to swing back here. And the bandit can't do anything either. And so he's going to just back up an inch. And then I'm just going to run with my magician here. Ooh, he is quite quick, so he can actually get all the way over here. And he will take a swing. That's not going to do it. So the bandit's going to swing back. And that's going to do nothing as well, especially since that bandit is fatigued. So the bandit is just going to move back another inch there. Can't quite finish him off yet, can we? All right, that's going to be end of the turn. Let's go roll for an encounter here. Okay, that's a bandit coming in at the far left side of the map over here. All right, native scout. Going to move into combat here and take a swing. That's a 12. That is not quite enough there. And so this bandit is going to get to swing back, but he can't roll good either. And then we'll go ahead and have my irregular activate and take a swing at the guy in the gateway. He misses. The guy swings back and misses. Got one more activation here. I'm going to activate my irregular here, who's going to move up to this clue marker. He has 2 pistols, so one of them is still loaded, so he is going to take a shot at that bandit over there. He's going to get -1 to this, and that's not going to be enough. All right, we're going to go with creatures first. So just within 6 here, he continues his murder spree. Let's see what he can do. He's going to be adding 3 to his result here. So that is going to be over 13. He's strong, so he adds 1 to damage. So he's going to do 8 damage to this poor guy. This guy's going to swing back, see what he can do. Well, all right, his desperation paid off. So that's a 16. It is going to wound the crocodile. And it's going to be 9 with a damage reduction of 1, so it's going to do 8 wounds to him. We've got some snakes over here. Going to move up 5, and they will get in within an inch of that guy, so they're going to bite him. We'll be adding 1 to this. Oh, that's going to do 5 damage because that's their maximum, and that's going to take out this bandit. And then we've got another snake back here. It's going to move 5. That's just going to get him into the doorway there. And then we will start activating some bandits here. So we've got a bandit still in the doorway. He's going to go after and try and club my magician there. 11's not going to do it, so the magician does get to slap back here. And the magician is mad. He got a 15, and so that's actually going to finally finish off this bandit. And we've got a bandit over here who is going to, he does have a loaded rifle. He would be outside of range of the of this guy, or outside of combat. So he's going to use his rifle, and he's going to take a shot at this crocodile. 10's not going to do it. He's going to take a shot at my irregular. He's going to be -3 to this. So that's not going to be able to beat the defense there. Now I get to activate everybody else. I've got a wounded irregular here. So let's try and move up with our medic. Go ahead and reload and make a normal movement with my Janissary. My irregular is going to take a shot at the snakes that are in the gateway back there. He does have salt rounds, which are more effective, as he got that out of one of he got the salt rounds out of one of the clue markers earlier. So let's take a shot and see what we can do. 7, 8's not going to do it. I believe that is the end of my turn there. We get another encounter. 1, no encounter. All right, the best kind. So it goes back to me. All right, those snakes are pretty tough if you don't have salt weapons. So let's be smart and let's use someone who does have a salt weapon. So this guy is going to unload one of his pistols, load it with salt, and shoot at the writhing coils of snakes over there. 12, he gets a +1 for his accuracy, so that's going to be the 13 that he needs there. That's only going to do 3 damage, but the snakes only have 6 health to begin with. Let's go ahead and move my medic up the rest of the way here so that he can help out next time. And he'll also go ahead and claim this canoptic jar, and we'll see what we get. The ace. Let's look. Figure has discovered a spring. This figure will take no actions the next time it activates. As it drinks its fill, the unit will not suffer any effects of thirst for the rest of the campaign. I'm not actually playing with the thirst rules because I'm just now learning the game, and they're kind of like an add-on for the Egypt scenario. I'm gonna go ahead and ignore that and say he just got some treasure or something like that. And I've got one more activation, and those snakes are getting awfully close. I've got two snakes getting awfully close. The ones on the gate too. I need to remember them. Who else has salt? Anybody? Kind of low on salt, except for my irregulars here. So this irregular is going to have to reload his pistol and fire again. Pow. And he will go ahead and fire at this group and try and finish him off. So he's got a +1 here. He needs 13. All right, there we go. That's going to do it. That is going to remove this group of snakes. And that's it for my first activation. So we'll start with the creatures. Gobble, gobble, gobble. And 11. I'm going to add 3 to that, so it still goes through because this crocodile has a powerful jaw. And that's going to be more than enough to eat this guy. So the crocodile is getting pretty full here. He's only got 4 health left. We've got some snakes in the gate. And they're gonna move up and go after my irregular there. Adding 1 to this. Oh no. Now thankfully snakes only do maximum of 5 damage, but that means that this guy Sirhan has taken 5 wounds. He is down to 5. He's also poisoned by their venomous jaws, so he needs to take a courage check and get 14 here. He's got a courage of 0. All right, so he's going to be -1 to his movement and, or no, -2 to his movement and -1 to any checks he makes for the rest of the game while he is poisoned. And then we've got one more bandit over here who is going to reload and move up 6. He's not going to go into the gate with the snakes, that's for sure. So he's going to come around from that side. Now I get to activate the rest of my squad here. This guy's going to take a shot. He's going to stand where he is. He's going to take a shot at that big old crocodile over there before it gets an extra dessert. Ugh, totally misses. So if I can roll above a 10 here, I can run around and get into combat with that bandit. Let's try it. Hey, there we go, 10. So he is going to come into contact, swing his big old great weapon, two-handed sword, and completely miss with a 3. The bandit's going to swing back and do much, much better and do 8 points of damage to my poor scout. All right, my wizard here is going to, first of all, claim this item. That's the 10. +1 defense for the rest of the campaign, okay. So I've got a fancy amulet. It makes sense for his character. He's going to step back. He is going to go ahead and try for a spell here. And he's going to try and give flaming weapon to this irregular. Just need to roll 10. All right, didn't roll a 10. No flaming weapon. My leader here is going to reload and then start moving towards some of the treasure that's on that side of the board. And that's the end of the turn. Let's see what pops out of the sand. 5. All right, so we've got another snake coming in here, kind of close to that bandit, so we'll see what happens there. All right, I'll get to activate 3 eyes. Well, this dude's got to reload and fire his salt again. So, pow, he's going to fire straight into those snakes again. And that's not going to do it. Okay. We've got another guy with a salt pistol that is loaded, so he is going to turn, make sure he's in range, and fire his second pistol here. He misses. I'm going to take another swing back here. So that's my local scout. He's going to try and chop that bandit's head off. Oh boy. All right, and the bandit swings back. Well, he can't do anything either, so that's all right. Monsters first. It's a 6-inch move for the croc, getting dangerously close to my doctor. The snakes are going to bite my irregular here. Oh no. That's going to do the full 5 damage. He is knocked out of the game. We've got snakes back here that are within 6 inches there, so they're going to chomp, and they'll actually do 5 damage to this bandit, so they can do something. The rest of my characters get to go. Magician's going to take a run. He's going to go 8, just within an inch of that. Oops, so he'll resolve that one. That's my 7. Accidentally stepped on an ancient scroll, crushing the context of fragments. Add 1 power die to your fate pool. Okay, well, I like that. The figure must roll for the mummy's curse. Oh boy. All right, I am going to do the mummy's curse because that's cool. All right, this is a simple check of 9. And it's something I do after the game. I'll go ahead and do it now so I don't forget. And so is my magician cursed? He's all right. Okay. Janissary is going to reload and shoot at the crocodile here. Croc's going to get cover. It's going to be -1/+1 here. At 8, that's not going to do it. My leader is going to turn. I think he needs to make a slight move here, and he is going to shoot at the croc with his pistol. That's a 9. That's not going to do it either. And then my doctor is going to get the heck out of there. So he can go pretty far. He'll go over to here so he can heal that irregular next turn. Roll for an encounter. Bandito coming in at point number 4 over there, so kind of behind that ruin. Only 1 treasure left. It may make sense to start heading towards the exit. We've got 2 guys down and several very wounded over here. All right, I need to get away from this croc, so let's have my leader take a run here. And that's going to let him go 10 inches. Put him over here by the tent. I'll do the same with my doctor. And do the same with this irregular here. Critters get to go. Unfortunately, I'm still within 6 here. So he's going to take a bite out of my leader, who's thankfully at full health. That is definitely going to go through. It's going to be 9 damage on my leader. So leader's down to 4. He's just hanging on. We've got some snakes in the gate. They're going to move out. They're not going to be able to get all the way there, but they're going to start heading there. And then we got snakes right here that are going to take a bite out of this guy. They don't damage him, so he's going to swing back. He's going to miss as well with an 8. It goes over to the bandits, so we'll have this guy just go ahead and fight the snakes again. That's not quite enough. The snakes bite back. Oh, they're going to do some damage. And then we've got a bandit over here who's going to move up and onto this cover and then take a shot at my wizard. So that's going to be a 15 minus 2 because he moved and wizard's on cover. It's a 13. It is just going to hit my wizard. It's going to do 5 damage to him. All right, everybody wounded over here. So let's get the heck off the board. Let's get the wizard out of here first. All right, he's going to be able to go 10 inches. So he can actually just head off the board, and that's what he's going to do. Same thing over here. He's just going to move off of the board. That was my native scout. And then I've got Janissary over here. He's just going to make a run for it too. So he can move 10. He's getting off the board. Okay, end of the round. We roll for an encounter. That's an 8. Play some snakes randomly. So I've got 6 kind of buildings here. So let's see which one the snakes come out of. 1, 2, 3. So they're just going to show up right there. I get to move 1 guy at this point. Oh boy. I didn't think about this, did I? I've got a crocodile with 4 wounds left. Does my leader potentially sacrifice himself to save the doctor? I don't think he does. I think he runs. All right, he does get to go his full 10 inches here. He's going to run straight past this treasure. Try and get off the board. So now it goes over to the beasts. Just going to see if he can munch on a yummy doctor snack here. He actually doesn't, and so the doctor gets to swing back and does nothing, but that's not surprising. This guy is going to reload and fire at my irregular there, who's going to get -2 because he's a master of cover. And a 10 is not going to do it. So that's good for my team. Both of my guys get to make a move here. So that's going to be a 10-inch move. Almost gets him off the table. And that's going to be a 10-inch move, which almost gets him off the table. My Janissary's probably wounded the worst, so I'll get him off the table. Critters go. Can't quite get to me this turn. This guy, I'm just going to say, is eaten alive by snakes because it's funny. And then Bandit is going to fire. This guy is also within, not quite within 24. If he moves up 6, can he get a shot before, a cheeky shot before we leave? I think he just can get a shot on the doctor. So we've got 2 shots here. We've got one coming from up here into the doctor. Doesn't quite hit. And then we've got one back here. And this is going to be at a -1 coming into the doctor. Uh-oh, that one does hit. Now, thankfully, the doctor is at full health. He's going to take 8. He's going to be at 2 remaining. But then I get to activate. And I get to move everybody off the board here. And that's going to be the end of the scenario. So I got 5 of the treasures, and some of those gave me some bonuses to some of my characters, which was nice out of this. Didn't quite clear the bandits out, but you know, I think the snakes and crocodiles and things are probably gonna finish them off for us, and we can report this as a success to the Sultan and continue on in our journey through Egypt, seeking great treasure and historical discoveries. And that's the end of part 1 of our Silver Bayonet Egypt campaign. Thanks for watching.